Good morning, everybody. This morning it's my privilege to introduce Neil Claessens from Sectional Title Solutions. Now, I asked Neil to come and talk to me about water storage and backup solutions, because that's the next problem that we are facing in the many schemes that we manage on a daily basis. Neil, welcome. Thank you for joining us. As I've just said in my intro, that water and water problems and water storage and water pressure, that's a problem that a lot of our municipalities are facing throughout the country. So what can you do for our clients in terms of water backup and water storage?
Yeah, morning. Thank you, Arthur. Thanks for the opportunity, and to our viewers, thank you for tuning in. I think, Arthur, just to really start it off, Sectional Title Solutions for a number of years have been delivering value integrated communities. As our name suggests, we provide a myriad of different services to increase the ownership values of these properties, but also to improve the daily lives of the residents within these schemes. And as you rightfully said, yes, water is becoming, unfortunately, is already in a crisis. I think it's been overshadowed by the energy crisis that we've all experienced over the last couple of years, and water, unfortunately, is no difference. So really what the value proposition is from Sectional Title Solutions perspective is looking at assisting community schemes with building redundancy, looking at putting different services in place that would help reduce these costs that are being expensed with the local incumbents, and looking at really just giving the ownership within these schemes the power to really control that access. So it really is a full range of different services, starting from the sinking of borehole, looking at water treatment, the storage, as you rightfully mentioned, as well as backup. Our intention is really to help community schemes not rely on the local incumbents as much as we used to historically, but also ensuring that the water in which they're drinking is of good quality. I think that is a massive problem as well.
Neil, just taking a step back now, talk to me about the borehole drilling and the permits. I mean, you're not going to be drilling holes into the Gautrain tunnel without approval.
No. So it is a heavily regulated industry. And I think, that particular incident you referred to is something that also, outside of the general public's knowledge, has also created a lot of additional red tape that wasn't about prior to that incident. And so, yes, when drilling boreholes, there is a lot of geology that goes into it. We actually, from a desktop survey perspective through our water treatment partners, will actually go and look at the geology. In Joburg specifically, we have certain rock formations. We have a ridge of rock line that runs through from the west side of Joburg, right through Midrand and into Centurion, that has a negative impact onto which schemes would be able to likely get water. But in terms of permits and looking at all of those things, our partners that we have used, much like our solar offering, we have a closed network of approved installers, and they have been at this for years. Some of our partners with more than 20 years experience. So really, they are affiliated and regulated with all the right industries, and we do proper water table testing, as well as looking at the geology as a start before we even go out to site.
Thank you. So now you've drilled the bore.
Yes.
Okay, now there's water flowing.
What next? Well, that really just depends on what the scheme's goal is, really. What is their intention? Are they wanting to look at a full sort of retrofit solution where we look at filtration, harvesting, as well as the purification system? Or is it simply the storage in terms of being able to water common property areas? So it really does become more of a fingerprints approach. But typically the next step would be, once the borehole has been sunk, we would look at a good space or area within the common property to install the motor with JoJo tanks. And again, that would be the first way to really reduce your expenditure with council by utilizing the borehole for your common property areas. That is a good start, and then that will then grow based on it.
Thanks, Neil. And tell me, so how often is the water tested? I mean, regularly, on a monthly basis, weekly basis?
Lovely question, because I think as I alluded to a little bit earlier, the quality of water in South Africa is really not great, and something that needs to be regularly monitored and tested. So testing from our side, again, if our clients are taking the full system, which includes the filtration, we have multiple stages in that process where we are able to test that water at any stage. Typically, a standard service level agreement, it would be tested monthly. We also appreciate the amount of chemicals that are found in the water that we get supplied by the local incumbent. Not to mention the infrastructure challenges that also then affect that water quality. So it is and needs to be tested regularly. Prior to installation, that water is tested at length, because we also need to be able to commit to our clients what that will look like at the end. So by going through the filtration process, how cleaner can that water get? If that's correct English, yes.
Okay, and then now, so it's not just Joburg. I mean, this is Tshwane, you looking at Mohale City,
yes,
Ekurhuleni, the Gauteng municipalities, but nationally. And you could provide that service nationally, and then also to do the different municipalities have different rules, different bylaws. So you would then have to do the due diligence on all of the different municipalities as well.
Correct. We are a firm supporter of proudly South African businesses, but also supporting local communities and local businesses. So within our close network of teams that do the actual technical and testing and all of that, they are locally based in all the provinces across South Africa. They understand what is required by the local incumbents, and we obviously would naturally have to submit certain applications to the council for sign-off and approval as well. So yes, it is all done locally, and as mentioned, if we look at Eastern Cape as an example, there's over 11 municipalities just in the Eastern Cape, each with their own requirements and different systems that don't talk to each other. So yes, it is very much important that we understand the lay of the land on site in those local areas, but we are proud to offer a national service.
I love this. I love that you make our clients' lives easier. That you do the legwork, you do the investigations prior to, and then still afterwards, that they don't have the concerns in terms of water quality, and now they've got water, but now they can't use it. So I love that fact. Now let's talk about compliance from a client perspective. We're talking sectional title and full title schemes. A sectional title scheme, they would generally require a special resolution, I suppose, because it's an improvement, or albeit a necessary improvement, that would require a special resolution, and that's where we would work together in ensuring that the compliance is in place prior to anything happening. And then from a homeowners association perspective, the MOI would provide guidelines in terms of what the requirements are, what kind of resolutions are the directors of the association allowed to continue, or do they need input from all the owners? Generally, also homeowner associations, each individual owner would receive their own municipal bill, and that backup water solution would then generally be for the common property. Am I correct?
That's typically the case. From an approval perspective, you are correct. A special resolution is our view and how we engage with our clients and advise them. Even that of full title, where ownership and accounts are within the individual owner's names directly with the council, these schemes tend to be, or these estates tend to be large enough that the value proposition is still there just for common property areas. For example, we find that full title estates where there's golf courses, these are massive requirements. You can appreciate that not only, particularly if that club is open to the public, there's a lot of water consumption happening there. Now, they would typically already have boreholes, but it's the bolt-on services for the livable sections within that estate that matter. With homeowners, we would most certainly look at their founding documents that lay the land in terms of the way they should go about adopting these services. But from our side, we would always encourage transparency as much as possible. Engage with your membership, engage with the owners, and ensure that you have their support. So yes, special resolution 75% in favour. Those present or represented by proxy is our preferred method.
Thank you. Neil, I really believe that it's not just sectional title solutions, it's community scheme solutions, because I really believe your company is able to offer so many different solutions to our clients out there as well. But thank you for your time.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity.
Let's sort out the water in the community schemes.
Perfect. Happy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.